Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. And before I can show you what we already did in Consumer Portfolio Services, just want to ask you one small question. Please raise your hand if your organization is still running core business rules in system that built before iPhone exists. So please keep it up. If changing one small rule gonna need development, testing, and deployment window, maybe it takes weeks or something. I feel you. Thank you so much. So I was one of you. My name is Shadi Shafiq, working at Consumer Portfolio Services. We specialize in auto finance company, and we have been in the market since 1991. And I work there as a decision data analyst. My main role is fit in the intersection between data, analytics, business rules, and production platforms. In Consumer Portfolio Services, we running around like hundreds of thousands applications every day. For years, those applications, the brain for those applications sit inside IBM AS400 platform, which is written by RBG. If you know RBG, you can understand the challenge we have. If not, so you are so lucky. So, and to be clear, our story today is not about bad platform or bad people, because the team who built and maintained this platform or this system were incredibly skilled. But our story is about what's gonna happen when great people have the right platform. And that's what SaaS Viya help us with, to change and to be able to take another step in our journey in CPS. And today, I'm gonna show you also some results from what we already done in CPS. And I think the main thing I can start with is we had 691,210 decisions for the first 6 days in the production. Decisions in our company means application. So we had 691,210 applications went through the first 6 days, and all of them was 100% success rate, 0 failure application. And here is how I would like to spend our time today. First, I'm gonna give you like a quick introduction about Consumer Portfolio Services. Then we can talk about what the legacy challenges we had and why we took this decision to upgrade our platform from something to another thing. And then we're gonna talk about SaaS Viya platform and the new decision engine. After that, I'm gonna show you some results and evidence, and how we achieve those results it wasn't easy. It took us like some time just to achieve it. And then the AI roadmap. Because in Consumer Portfolio Services, we are not, the decision engine is not our objective, like final objective. It's just one step towards the AI world. And last thing, we're gonna share some lessons we learned through this process. Consumer Portfolio Services, we are a lending provider of indirect auto financing in the US. We specialized in the subprime lending, which is give us more responsibility for every single decision we have. Every decision we make, maybe it costs our company X amount of losses or X amount of profit, because our customers is a little bit risky. We have been in the market since 1991. We manage around $15 billion in loan. And as I mentioned, the subprime customers give us more responsibility to choose the right decision. Let me spend some time here because that's the heart of why we really need to change. On the left-hand side is not something unusual. In some organizations, that's a normal process. As you can see in here, every edit, every rule change we need, it takes manual code edits. That's why the business need or the business changes, it's not a business changes anymore. It's like a technical request. It have to went through the right person with the right sequence, with the right testing time and the right deployment window, which is give our, like every single change, a very heavy weight to carry, a very heavy weight just to take this decision. Second, our deploy cycle took days, not hours. In our industry, we had a lot of business changes. We have a lot of strategy changes according to the market itself. And if we cannot keep going with the same speed, with the same time frame with the market, we're gonna way behind. Third thing, we were not able to integrate any machine learning models or any Python models to our system. We can build scorecards and models. We can run analysis. And we can generate insights. But those things are not connected to a live production system. That's why analytics and execution is just far apart. The last thing is about zero decision adaptability. This point is very important because we don't have to investigate that long to know what's the right decision or how we took this decision, what kind of data we are using, what kind of version of this decision are we using right now. That's why we need something we can easily track, something we can easily investigate and get more insights about the whole process. And maybe that's why legacy systems stay forever, because it's still working well to survive. But surviving and scaling, it's two different things. On the right-hand side, you can see right now we have a virtual rule updates with no read to play. We have changes can be done in minutes and sometimes in hours, but it won't take days or weeks to implement it. We have a native SaaS Python machine learning models. We can right now we can integrate those machine learning models. We can run those forecast models in a live production platform. And finally, we have a full audit trail on every single decision. You can easily track why we, let's say, reject this application, and it can walk you through the whole process. So that's what SaaS Viya platform gives us. First is the intelligent decisioning itself, which is a virtual builder for modular decision flow, rules, conditions, branches. That's how you can easily design your platform. That's how you can easily design your decision, and everybody in your department or on your team can audit it. We have a cloud analytics services, which is give us a real scoring, which is we need this kind of performance, because later on I'm gonna show you how the runtime and how the load testing is very important in our journey. And then we have a micro analytics services, which is give us a millisecond model execution. As I just mentioned, the runtime is one of the big factors in our company, is one of the big factors in our industries. Lastly, we have a model manager, which is give us the ability to integrate with the machine learning models, give us the ability to build the whole model in a very clean and effective way. What I'm gonna show you now, and maybe I'm gonna be a little technical in this slide, is this one is not just like an example. That's our real decision diagram. That's how easy you can identify your needs and you can achieve your goals. Our decision, it starts with initial, the app ID itself. Why we are doing this? Because back end and the front end is just two sides from the same coin. So if we need to track any application, if we need to trace it or troubleshoot it, we need to identify where and which application we are running right now. That's why the first nodes just send to the back end, okay, we are talking about this app right now. And then we have an input processing. So once we received any application in our industry, we have to run through, we have to pull all their credit information, or the car information, or the dealer information itself, to be able to take those decisions. That's why we pull all our data, which is still in the AS400 till now. And then the decision engine, which is the core for this project, which is why we need this platform. And that's how we convert all those big amount of data to some decisions according to some rules and according to some scores. And then we write it back to our database, so the dealership, the applicant himself, and even if our employee will be able to exit and we will be able to continue the process. And finally, we finalize the log as we start with sending to the back end which application we are going through, then, okay, right now we're done with this application. So if anything happen or if we need to troubleshoot anything, easily we can identify it and we can find out what's the problem. Here's our results. So as you can see, for the first 6 days, weekends, weekdays, and we are serving not only California or Texas, we just have different time frames. That's why it starts from 5 a.m. and maybe lasts until 8 or 10 p.m. Here's our results for the first 6 days. First, there's some days which is a little bit slow, like day 14 June, because it was a Saturday, it was a weekend. And there's some other peak days, like 17 and 16, when we had 146,000 applications. Track everything and track the performance from day perspective is really good. But what about track it by hour? To see how the heavy loading and how our system work under pressure. As you can see, we start receiving application at 5 a.m. And as I just mentioned, average runtime is a very important thing. That's what our dealership gonna experience. That's what our team and how we can improve their performance by giving them the decision very quick. So every single decision took average 0.27 seconds. And even if in the peak time, like 8 a.m., and when we had 31,000 applications, we achieved 0.37 seconds. That's why when I told you it took us a long journey to achieve this, yes, but that's why we need the right platform to apply those changes and to achieve those objectives. And again, our results simply say that we have a 100% success rate. We have a 0 failure applications. And we have an impressive runtime, which is average decision runtime is 0.4 seconds. So what comes next? For us, building a new decision engine is like a gateway to the AI world. Legacy systems just give you a ceiling, the same as you give the best driver in the world, like an old car, he cannot achieve or he cannot win the race or the marathon. That's why after we build the decision engine, we still have our goals. First, phase 1 was a dynamic risk scoring. How we can integrate the prediction models for the real-time credit assessment. We couldn't be able to do it before. The machine learning integration. Right now, we can add those Python and custom models during the live decision flow. We also have the adaptive strategies, which is engines that learn from the performance feedback automatically. We don't have to spend years testing something to achieve this, and to get the feedbacks and to improve it and to make a better version from it. And lastly, Gen AI simulation. And this one is a big one. Right now, we can easily say if we change this amount from X to Y, how something like that gonna affect our losses, our profit, how something like this gonna affect our customers, what kind of decisions we need to take. We don't have to spend maybe weeks or days running those kind of simulations, because right now we can easily do it. Before I close today, I just want to spend a little extra time on this slide and to share what we already learned during this process and during this journey. First thing is modernization is a mindset. Technology matters. Technology is one of the biggest challenges during the change. But the mindset itself means a lot of things. The mindset itself, which is gonna be against whatever they used to have, whatever familiar for them, whatever change management, like barriers and struggles, that's the important part. Everybody in your organization need to believe in this. Otherwise, it's very hard to tell somebody, okay, we're gonna get something you are familiar with just to give you something better. Because for him, okay, it's still going well. Second, build for adaptability. It's easy to build any platform right now, but are you building the new platform in a good architecture so you can easily change it? Because our industry have a lot of changes every day, a lot of changes every time. So to build something and we cannot even like change it later on, or we need to dig in deep in a lot of coding layers just to do it, it's very painful. Third, governance is not optional. Audit trails and model life cycles is not optional anymore right now. In the AI world, that's something very way behind. You can build new platform in minutes right now with the new AI tools, but are you been able to see the life cycle and to measure the performance or not? Transparency build trust. So if I can see easily why this decision got rejected, or why we have a problem here, or why we have this amount of losses during this month, that's all we want. And that's how we build trust with our employees before our customers and dealerships. And then legacy constrains high speed. Removing RPG is just unlock innovation. We didn't know it was blocked. It gave us ability we don't even know in the beginning we can do. It just push our ceiling because our platform is not the same anymore. And lastly, decisioning enables AI. Right now, we are not only building Gen AI simulations, but we're also building AI chatbot, which is customized for our company, which can give us forecast and can give us and do any kind of analysis for our teams without spending weeks or days doing it. So thank you guys for joining me today again, and I'm open if anybody have any questions.